What's up, guys and girls? My name's Nick, and we are here today for a match between the Lilycove Lugias and the Jersey Jynxs for a week 4 fight in season 3. These two are both not picking up so many wins so far. I believe the Lilycove Lugias haven't got a win yet, whereas the Jersey Jynxs has managed to get one, but obviously looking for more. Both of these really need to get some games going, and this could be the one for both of them to really pick up some ground. You've got the Lugias with Tapu Fini, Salamence, Conqueror, some real big hitters at the top of that. Gothitelle is so hard to play around with the Shadow Tag ability. And then just swapping in Drapion for a new trade for this match. Drapion is a really good C tier, so I'll be interested to see what that can do. And then on the Jinx's side of things, you've got Diancie, which is just, it doesn't go anywhere. If you think Tapu Fini is sturdy, then Diancie is something else. The defenses are off the chart. Mimikyu is absolutely brilliant with the disguise ability and still having some real big power there. Lipard, Serena, so you've got all the priority. You've got control of that with the Prankster and then stopping your opponent from being able to do it. There's some really good things on the Jinxie side of things. Personally, I would imagine it's going Trick Room. That's pretty much what that team looks like it's set up to do with the slower mons like Steelix and Lapras. But, well, Lapras isn't that slow, but still can work in it very well. And so it's going to be a really interesting match. You know, who's been able to prep better for the other one and see who can predict the game plan that the other one's going to come up with. So I'm really excited for this one. Let's jump in and see how it goes. Right then. Okay. So you've got Kraken bringing the Salamence, the Tauros, Gothitelle, Conqueror, Tapu Fini, and Drapion. I think Drapion being the newest member of his team. I think he's going to combat Kendra well. Jynx is interesting. It's Trick Room setter, obviously, but can do some big ice damage to that Salamence. Serena, obviously stopping the priority move, so he's got to be careful of that. Mimikyu is just absolutely dangerous as anything, with the ability to both set Trick Room if she wants to, pretty easily with the disguise ability, or just put out big damage. Steelix works great in Trick Room. You can see that this is kind of what she's probably going for. Then you've got the Prankster Lipard and the Prankster Riolu, so with Serena stopping Kraken's priority and her having all the priority in the world herself, this is going to be tough for him to be able to combat. I think it's going to be interesting. I think there's going to be a lot of toing and froing. The real question here is, what's Kendra going to lead? Is she going to be going for one of those two Trick Room setters? Because I have to presume that's the game plan from her side of things. Okay, let's see then. Jynx and Lipard. So, yeah, definitely the potential of Trick Room being set straight off the bat. But you've got to watch out for that Lipard. It's got Fake Out. It's got a whole host of things it can do with priority. So, yeah, dangerous start. Kraken's going to have to plan this well. He does counter it pretty well with the Conqueror, though. And to be fair, does she really want to be setting the Trick Room with Conqueror on the field? Yeah, I don't hate Rock Slide. To be fair, I think pretty much anything he clicks here is going to be doing some big, big damage. Okay, getting that Protect off. That'll mean that the burn will start at the end of the turn, getting that Guts up. Fake Out, that's a good shout from Kendra. And not going for the Trick Room, but instead Nasty Plot. So that Jynx is going to be putting down some real power. Kraken needs to be dealing with that ASAP. Okay, so ooh, he's thinking about the Mach Punch, considering their priority. Obviously, if Trick Room had been set, he could quite happily click whatever he wanted, but knowing that Conqueror is probably the slowest thing on the field, yeah, I think that he's just thinking, you know what, Jinx needs to go down, and to be fair, that's not a bad shout. Oh my, that is huge damage! Well, so much for that nasty plot Jinx. Wow. And the knockoff from the Lipod, not a bad play. Assault Vest, yeah, that's going to be stopping a lot of the power coming in. Obviously, if Jinx was still around, she could really capitalize on that, but now she's going to need something else to be pulling the trigger. What's she going to go for? But Kraken in a really good spot here. Granted, Taurus has taken some damage, but taking down that Jinx before it was able to capitalize on the nasty plot is huge. Okay, here's the Mimikyu. So he's got to be careful. Obviously, the fighting move's not going to do absolutely anything, but you have to hit it just to get any sort of damage in the first place. Now, I don't hate going into the Lipod here. To be honest, based on the power of that Mach Punch on the Jinx, probably able to do it with just the Mach Punch. Yeah, and that's what he's going for by the looks of it. Okay, Ironhead. Obviously, won't go through the disguise, but all the same. Oh, Lipod comes out, and Steelix comes in, but this is still going to take a ton from that Mach Punch. And it's not quite half, but it's close. You have to presume if she's bringing Steelix in, there's probably a Trick Room on the way here. Okay, Disguise popped, so that's good for Kraken. But it does mean... Oh, Drain Punch, not going for the Trick Room at all. But, crucially, not taking Tauros down. And you can tell from the fact that it went after the Tauros that she now is still in a bit of a difficult spot. The Disguise is now popped, so she doesn't have that defense level up. So Kraken's still got a lot of time to be able to capitalize on this. He has to be wary of the Mimikyu coming back out with power because it will still probably be faster than the Conqueror. But all the same. How's Kendra going to play this now? Shadow Sneak going for the priority, but it is not doing enough at all. Whereas Ironhead definitely doing a lot more damage there. And yeah, close combat, that's going to be huge with the Guts boost, picking up the KO on Steelix. Steelix never got a moment to move, so that's huge from Kraken. He's capitalizing on every opportunity that Kendra's giving him here. And she really needs to pull something out of the bag at this point. You've got to presume the fake out is coming. It's probably going to be onto the Tauros, purely based on the fact that it just kills the Mimikyu straight off the bat. Unless she goes for some sort of offense into Tauros for the kill. Or will the fake out be enough? It will. Okay. Mach Punch absolutely destroying the Lipod there. No focus sash, so you do have to wonder where that is. And the avoid on the play rough. Oh my god. That would probably have been enough to take it down, which at least would have given her a 1v2 chance. But no, with that miss, that puts Kraken in such a dominating position. This one's all but wrapped up. Yeah, going for the high horsepower there, just the only damage that it can do. I'm not sure as I agree with the protect. Like, at this point, just finish it off the job. You may as well. I stand corrected. Who knows how much that Shadow Sneak could have done. Perfect choices by a Kraken. He knew exactly what he was doing there. And that's game one. Well done. Kendra's really going to have to come back now. So she's brought in the Diancie, as you can see. Dropping Steelix, which I don't hate because that Conqueror was ripping through it. Even with all the defense that Steelix has, just no match for Guts Conqueror. So, looks like Kraken's still starting off with the Conqueror and Tauros lead, which works really well because I think it stops Kendra from knowing whether to click the Trick Room button or not. I mean, she may not be running Trick Room, but I have to presume with the teams that she's bringing that that's what her thoughts are. Let's see how she changes things up here. I mean, personally, if I'm her, I think that Diancie is doing huge damage to an awful lot of Kraken's team. So you do want it. It's just a question of, do you bring it straight off the bat? I mean, like, you really want it in Trick Room to be able to make the most of its low speed. Okay, then. Let's see what she's going for. And will it do any better versus Kraken? And Riolo and Serena, so definitely changing it up. I don't hate this. This stops the Mach Punch move from Conqueror, which was doing a lot of damage there. Intimidate, dropping both of their attacks, so that's good again from Kraken, though. As both of these are normally physical attackers. Yeah, going for the Protect on Conqueror, that makes sense. Get that Guts boost up. And just the Mega Horn into Serena. Yeah, that'll do a lot of damage. But how much? Oh, the coaching. This will help it survive, as well as obviously hurting even more. Although it's only bringing it back to normal with the Intimidate drop already got off. Not even half. That's got to be disappointing from Kraken. And Kendra, wow. Kendra destroying that Tauros in one fell swoop. That's huge. Especially after the Intimidate drop had already stopped it from getting too high. Now, got to be careful bringing that Tapu Fini. Serena does have the ability to rip through it with the grass type moves. Ooh, he's clicking Mach Punch. He shouldn't be doing that. And going for the Dazzling Gleam, locking himself in, as I believe this is one of the choice items. I believe choice specs. I don't hate the Dazzling Gleam, but that Mach Punch, I believe Kraken's going to be regretting in just about, maybe 10 seconds time. Follow me, not going to make any difference to the Dazzling Gleam. Yeah, there's the Queenly Majesty. You got to be careful of that. At least that's taken down the Riolo, and it has done big damage to the Serena. But it gets chance to capitalize here. Conkeldurr taking that amazingly well. The burn taking it down under half, but taking less than half from a play rough from Serena is huge and really impressive. What's coming out now, though? Here's the Mimikyu. So at this point, I think that Trick Room is no longer the go-to play for the Jersey Jynxs. Kendra can't really be doing that while Serena's on the field, and the Conkeldurr is just putting out too much damage. Yeah, gotta stick with that Dazzling Gleam once you're locked in, but that's fine. Still gonna be doing decent damage. But Serena coming out, and in comes Diancie. So maybe Trick Room is the play after all. Never mind. Going for the damage instead. Pop in the disguise, and reasonable damage on Diancie. The red card swapping it out, but that might not be the worst thing after it's already locked into one of the moves. Bring out Drapion here is pretty big. That poison damage is going to be good on both of these. Able to go for the Mach Punch now. And you have to wonder what he's going for. Going for that stab cross poison isn't the worst thing in the world. Yeah. Question is, how much damage does it do? It's not bad from the Mach Punch. Play Rough is going to take down Conkeldurr now. That burn damage mounting up just a little bit too much. But Cross Poison taking down Dancer. With the crit. You have to love Drapion and its ability to get crit after crit after crit. And to be honest, if I was Kendra, even though I've still got the Mimikyu and the Serena, I wouldn't be happy about facing down a Drapion and a Tapu Fini. That Drapion especially is in a great spot right here. Looking like Kraken's going to lock into Surf, which is fine. Serena's low enough that it'll probably do enough anyway. And that's, of course, if the Drapion doesn't do the job in the first place. Oh, I missed that. Going for the Protect instead, probably because of this Surf damage. Takes that relatively well. The problem is what Serena can potentially dish out back. But never mind, because it is dead. And at this point, I don't see how Kendra can come back. The Surf alone will do enough damage, and Kraken with the Drapion can probably do this with the Drapion. Shadow Sneak, one last ditch priority, isn't going to be enough. And the Surf, oh wow, doing an awful lot to Drapion. You've got to be careful with that. But more importantly, taking down the Mimikyu, fantastic. GG. Wow. Yeah, that was brilliant game. Expertly played by Kraken. I was expecting Trick Room. Obviously, that's not the way that Kendra went, but he was still able to do everything that he needed to, regardless of that. Kendra trying hard, but this, I believe, is Kraken's first win. Um, Kendra also on one win already, so this puts them both on one win apiece. They're both going to be tying, like fighting out for probably one of those last spots to get into the playoffs. Obviously, still a few more matches to go, but all the same, this was an important one for Kraken to win. He's now on the scoreboard. Jersey Jynxs, they're going to have to do a bit more work. Well, both teams are going to have to do a bit more work because they're both tied in basically joint fifth place. But I really enjoyed that. Hope you guys did too. Thanks very much.